What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. I haven't gone live in a while, but I wanted to come on live and I wanted to talk about football and I also wanted to talk about basketball. So I already have 4 plays in football. I'm not going to give them exactly how I'm playing them. If you want the exact plays, they're going to be inside the VIP, but I'll tell you the leans on how I'm leaning towards each one of these plays. I also like two games in the NBA. I have not decided exactly how I'm going to play this. So I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to come on the live and kind of go over some of this stuff. So let me just kind of get into it. So the first thing I'm looking at here is going to be the first thing I'm going to look at here is the dashboard. Is going to look at the projections. So bear with me. Like I said, I haven't done live in a while, so just bear with me. But I'm going to get to the point. I do like NFL. I already have 4 plays in the VIP for the NFL. And instead of me sorting through this, I wanted to come on the live and kind of go through some of the thought process on today's games for basketball. So just, like I said, bear with me. I appreciate it. So let's see. So there's going to be there's only one game that's a back-to-back. There's one team. It's the matchup between Minnesota and Houston. And Houston is the one that's on a back-to-back. They played OKC yesterday. So Minnesota does have a 1-day rest advantage today. So just keeping that in mind. Let's scroll through here. All right, give me 1 second here. Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. So I do like, I'm liking, give me 1 second. I don't want to misspeak here. If you have any questions of anything that's been going on, we did have a massive run. We had a 21-4 run. And then I did give one winner and then one loser in the last 2 days. Yesterday was a pretty bad beat. We had like the under 256 or something like that, or 248 or something like that, and they went way over. We had the under. They ended up hitting like a 266, which is ridiculous, especially being on a back-to-back for the Jazz. All right, I pulled up the information I needed here. Sorry about that. I thought I had it open. So I do like the Cavaliers. Let's take a look here. Give me a second. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I should have got it set up a little bit better before going live. All right. So the first game I want to look at here is the Cavaliers and the 76ers. So the sharp money, it says that it's crushing the under. You can see they started at a 238. They went all the way down to a 233, even though 71% of the money and 73% of the bets, or vice versa, 71% of the bets, 73% of the money is going on the over. The line did drop 5 points. Let's keep going here. The over, so that's already a contradiction here for the over-under. Now, the lean is saying to look at the under 231. I guess that line went down. So the sharp money is pushing the line down, as you can see right here. The public is all over the over, yet the line is dropping down. So there is a contradiction there. Not a contradiction, but the sharps are pushing it down. So let's see what else they got here. Open at a 238, currently at a 233, 73%. I've already talked about that. So there's a bunch of injuries. Let me take a look at the injuries. I'm kind of reading my notes and trying to show you guys at the same time. So bear with me. 76ers. So you can see all the injuries over here. I don't got to explain them all, but Paul George is important. Embiid is important. Tyrese Maxey is playing. So it does say Embiid and George are questionable. So the line is dropping. So what that means is that they're probably not going to play, but they do have a little green check mark. So if you want to take a look at that later today, then you can kind of do that. But let me continue here. On the other side, you got Darius Garland and you got Max Strus. So basically, this is going to be more of an injury play. The line did drop 5 points, and this is more of an injury play. So if you wanted to look at the under right here, I would be considering that. But again, it's super low already. It's already at 233. It might have even dropped lower than that. So I will be taking the under, but I'm probably going to be buying it up all the way up to like maybe what is this? Maybe like 245 or something like that, and then parlaying it with something else. So that's probably what I'm doing here. Yeah, so I'll probably do that. I have to look at the exact numbers, but I'll probably do the Cavaliers and the 76ers on the under for probably like 245, something like that. I have to get back to you on that one. So let's keep going. The Nets and the Bulls. Let's go back over here. Let's look at the sharp plays, actually. Let's do this. So this is the one that is telling you the one I just talked about. And then right here, it's saying to take a look at the Nets. So we'll take a look at that one next. So you can see the projected scores are pretty even right there. It's actually even. And then you do have the line started at a -1.5 towards Chicago. And now it's currently at a +2.5. What this means is that it flip-flopped from underdog for Brooklyn at a +1.5. And now it's at a -2. Even though 61% of the bets, 63% of the money is coming in on Brooklyn, the line actually crossed over from underdog to favorite. That's very important when a line flips over from underdog to favorite. So the Nets is looking decent right here. What else are we looking at? So that's a 4-point swing. And then let's look at the injuries. Let's go back in here, look at the injuries. So you got Chicago, you got a bunch of injuries right there. You can see Giddey's the big one there. Hoarder's probable. Collins is out, and Giddey is out. So that's probably why this is more than likely the reason why this line flipped from Chicago being favorite to now the Nets being favorite. All right, let's see. Gosh, Giddey is out, situational. So the Bulls are 33% as favorites. So when they started as favorites, which they did, even though they're not favorites now, they did start as favorites. And whenever they do start as favorites, they only hit 33% of the time. So also, I'm not going to take a look at this, but basically it's the over-unders. So whenever the Brooklyn Nets play on the under, and if you follow me for any amount of time, you know that we've been hitting them unders on the Nets for a while. They're hitting at a 73% hit rate on the under. So I do like the Nets. I don't think I'm going to take them because I don't believe in them like that. The line did shift. There's injuries there. I might take it. I might not. I'm not sure. But I do like the Nets in this position. Confidence levels around an 8 out of 10. So if I end up taking this, I'll probably take the Nets at a +10 and then, like I said, Nets +10. And then the under on the other game and under 245, what I said for the Cavaliers. That's probably how I'll play that if I take the Nets. I'm not sure on the Nets yet. And that's all I had for basketball, actually. Everything else didn't look good. There was a lot of contradictions. There was a lot of things that didn't make sense. I'll give you some reasons. So let me give you some reasoning why I'm skipping these real quick. Actually, I don't have that information in front of me, so I'll leave it alone. Yeah, I'll leave that alone. So now let me start talking about football. So we're going to go in here. I haven't talked about football in a while, so let's get into it. I actually have 4 plays already in the VIP for that. Let's take a look at the sharp plays. Buffalo, if you want access to this Sharp Edge tool, you can get it for free. The link is in the description. It's for 2 weeks for free, so check that out. So anyways, it's saying to take a look at the Broncos. 2-point line flip from Buffalo. There's a lot of reasoning because there's injuries on the Bills. There's also a weak offense. So I have all the notes, but I'll get into it. The one I really like for sure this week is the Chicago Bears and the LA Rams. This is going to be a strong under because I live in Chicago. I'm looking out the window and it snowed like, I don't know, maybe 1.5 feet. And it's been really cold. And they're saying that this is actually going to be one of the coldest games in NFL history or NFL playoffs. So the cold really, really makes a difference on scoring. So that should be a strong under just on the fact of the weather. But there's a lot of other reasoning behind that also. So you can see the line did start at a 51.5. It went down to a 48. So that's already a 3-point line move. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah. So the total dropped 3 full points, 51 to 48. And then there's 48%. Let's take a look at the numbers here. So the under, you can see the public is all over this as well. It's 66%. Actually, sorry. This is the money is actually flipped. The percentage of the bets is going on the over, yet the money is going on the under. So it's pretty much a split. And I talked about this yesterday in like two games in the last couple of weeks. Whenever there's a split money and a split percentage of the bets, and the line is going strongly on one favor, there's a reason for that. Okay, so anyways, it's a stronger look on the under because of this. Let's see what else we got. The Bears have hit on the under 75% of the time at home. The Rams have the 5th best defensive line with the best run defense. So picture this, okay? Freezing weather, the line dropped 3 points. Rams have top 5 defense. And what else? That's about it. Okay, so I do really like this under. And like I said, the play's already in VIP, but I really like this under. I bought it all the way up to like 54.5 or 57.5, something like that. And I parlayed it with something else. I also love the Seahawks in this position. I'll talk about this last one, which is the Seahawks. I do have 4 others already in the VIP. Let's see if the Seahawks come up. So reverse line move right here. Reverse line move, 10% of the money. There's a critical injury. It does say that they're supposed to win by 6. So the line is actually at 7, and the line is kind of stuck at 7. So I would not touch that spread at a 7. What I actually did is I bought it back to 6.5. So you can see Seattle is -7, and then now it says it's -7.5. So it is going in a little, very, very little line move. But also you have to understand the key numbers, and the key number of 7 is very difficult to cross over. Now, if more money starts getting pumped into the Seattle before the weekend, that line is going to shift maybe to 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. So I don't think that's going to happen because San Francisco is a strong team also. But you can see 75% of the money, 75% of the bets, 65% of the money is coming in on San Francisco, yet the line is still shifting in Seattle's favor. So there's reasons for that, I believe. Sharp money is coming in heavily on Seattle. 75. They have a 75% chance that they're going to win. What else? The projections show that they're going to win by 6. And then Trent Williams is out, which is San Francisco's best player on the blind side. So they have a critical injury defending the quarterback for San Francisco. Also, San Francisco is 30% in the last 10 games whenever they're playing top 10 scoring defenses. And the worst stat here for San Francisco is that they're ranked 27th for the defensive line, which is second worst in the NFL. So their defensive line is second worst in the NFL. So obviously the Seahawks are going to take advantage of that. So here's the breakdown real quick. San Francisco defensive line is catastrophic. They're ranked 27th. Seattle's offense will have all day to operate. Meanwhile, Seattle's number 8 defensive line attacks a compromised 49ers defense. Without their best player, this is a dominant trench mismatch. So I really like Seattle. I actually took it on 2 different parlays. I actually took it on a -6.5, and then I parlayed it with something else. Like I said, I shared it with the VIP this morning. I really like Seattle in this position. I really like the under for the Bears and the Rams game. And then I already said Cleveland. For basketball, I like Cleveland on the under. Cleveland and 76ers on the under because of the injuries. Brooklyn is looking like a play, but I'm not sure on that yet because they do suck. So I don't know if I'm going to take that. I'm going to have to take a closer look at that one. What else? The Rams. Okay. So this one is very strong also, but I don't know if I'm going to take it because the line is stuck. So I have to wait closer to game time to see what happens. But it's going to be the Rams versus the Bears. The line actually started at a -4 on the Rams, and it went down to a -3.5. So what this means is that the line is going in the Bears' favor, even though everything is lining up to win for the Rams. The line is actually going against them. So that's because the Bears have a very strong at-home record. So maybe that's the reason. I don't know. There's too many contradictions. They do have Rams do have a 74% chance to win this, but I highly doubt they're going to cover the spread. So I might just take the Bears at a plus 7.5. But again, I'm not sure yet until I get closer to game time. So just to break this down, I do have one super strong play, which I'm not going to talk about because it's already in the VIP, and I already gave you pretty much 3 out of the 4. But I really do like the under for Chicago. I like Seattle. I like the Rams, but I'm not sure on the Rams yet because the line is shifting, so in the wrong direction. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to probably be hopping off. I still have to sort through. Let's see if this guy actually finished my props, and then I can actually go through some props. So one of the props I do like is the shots on goal. So you can see it's super expensive right here. So you have to parlay these. Sometimes I do 3 legs on these, 2 or 3 legs, because they're so expensive. His current line is all the way at 1.5. But I actually bought this back to a 1.5. And you can see why. The shots on goal over here, the defense against him is 22nd. So it's green because they suck against this position on defense. Plus, you can see how many shots on goal he's had in the last 10 games. He's hitting at a 90% hit rate. And also, if we do a little insight right here, he's exceeded this shots on goal 9 straight games at home. So, all right, even if we do the head-to-head, he's hit this pretty much all day. And then 20 games, he's hit this 17 out of the last 20. Then we keep going here, the minutes on the ice. He's pretty much right at average, 18 minutes, 19 minutes. And then the power play. You get more chances to shoot on goal because you're going against less defenders. So I really like this one in this position. I don't like it at the 1.5. I like it at the 1. That's what I'm taking. Let me see if he's done with my give me 1 second. So these are all the shots on goal. These are not the ones I'm taking. These are just the strong streaks. If you've been following me for any amount of time, this is what I show all the time. So the shots on goal, these are just players that have been hitting their line consistently. So look at Brent Burns. He's hit this line 8 straight times. And then you got so on. So take a screenshot if you want to see this. That's what let me get out of here real quick, and then I'll come back to the other one. So here's this one, points, rebounds, and assists. You can see, again, these are not our final plays. These are just strong players that have been hitting their lines consistently. So Trey Murphy is an example on top, 32.5. He's hit this line 6 straight times. Again, take a screenshot. I'm not going to share this for too much longer. We post it. Also, if you follow us, click on follow or subscribe and go where it says posts on our channel, and you'll see these posts every single day. We do have the anytime touchdowns, but I don't have it in front of me. But if you follow me and put subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll see what on Sunday I'm going to post it again, and it'll be the anytime touchdowns for this weekend. All right, let me get back out of here. Give me a second. Let me see if he's done with this other stuff. I'll probably look at, no, I can't do that. I have to pop up. It's too much work to try to show you guys what I'm going to do. But basically, I'm gonna just kind of show you what it looks like. So there is 3 players. There are 3 players that I'm going to look at for today for the PRAs. So if you guys want access to all that, if that becomes a play, I'll probably parlay it with something else. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But usually I do have a few players for the NBA PRAs. So as you saw, that chart shows 10. There's 3 here. They're probably, most of the time, they don't even match. So I don't really go off the streaks. I actually do my research. Let me show you one example of what I'm talking about. Let me actually copy this and just kind of go in here. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks for being here. I haven't done a live in a long time. I would say about two to 3 weeks. I haven't done a live. So, all right. So this is the first one that comes up from that sheet that I told you. It's already filtered out. So you can see Sabonis is actually just back from injury. I don't know how many games he's played. You can see I don't like it already just because he just came off injury. And I know that because we fade the hell out of the Kings all the time. And you can see right away I don't like this because look at the last date. Even though these stats look good, look at the last date that he played was November 16th. I know it's kind of hard to see that, but sorry, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can zoom in there. So you can see November 16th is the last time that he played. What is that? Almost exactly 2 months ago. So for him to not have played in 2 months, I don't trust it at all. And it just seems too good to be true for this line to be this low. And then he's hit this line 90% of the time and you're getting decent odds. It doesn't make sense. So when something doesn't make sense like that, I stay away. I'll just go through the next two. Give me a second. And you know what? He just finished the anytime touchdowns. So again, these are just hot streaks. These are not our final picks. So just take a screenshot if you want that. Puka Nacua has hit 4 touchdowns. Charbonnet, 3 touchdowns. Parkinson, 2 touchdowns. Ferguson, 2 touchdowns. And Josh Allen, 1 touchdown. So these are the top 5 getting anytime touchdowns. All right. Let me see. I got 2 more players to go through. Give me a second. I'm sorry, guys, because when I'm live, I have to be careful with what I'm showing. So give me 1 second. All right, let me go back to this. What the hell is this? Give me a second. So I'm going to copy this. Let me go to the next player. The next player I'm going to look at is Sharp. So he played 2 days ago. Now let's take a look at the last 10. So you can already see this is an alternate line. Let me see. Yeah, because his line is 17.5. We looked down to 14.5. Usually on these players, I like to do at least 3 to 5 points on buying it down. So the biggest thing here to look at is the 90% hit rate over here. You can clearly see this graph shows you he's hit this line. Then the head-to-head trends. So you can see he did not hit this line. But then again, that was last month. So that's one thing. And then there's a bunch of injuries on Chicago. So if you caught the stream from the beginning, I was talking about fading Chicago today because there's a lot of injuries. So take that into consideration. Also, in the last 20, he's only missed this 4 times. Plus, this is the big one. Let's see, against the center. So you can see over here on the right side, whenever this position plays against Chicago, they have one of the worst defenses against this position for points, rebounds, and assists. So this one's going to be a little bit more expensive, $328. And you can parlay that, for example, with the Seahawks to get them on the money line or something like that. I'm going to give you guys one more play, and then I'll be done, unless you have questions. Let me close out of this. Give me a second. I got one more player. So this is the kind of stuff I do every day in the morning. And then I come back and throw the VIP out there. And then whatever I like, I kind of put it together into a video, and then that's how I do it. But I appreciate you guys that are here. If you haven't followed us, please make sure you subscribe. We hit 3,200 people so far. I want to get to 4,000, hopefully by the end of this month. So please make sure you subscribe. Okay, the last one is Connie Leonard. Let's see. He's a strong small forward. Yeah, so then, okay. So you can see the odds are kind of expensive here too. Let's take a look at, there's no insights over here. So there's last 20, he's hit this pretty much every game except for 2. And then those 3 games, they were very close. Head to head, again, he has not hit this, but you have to look at the strong date. It was since February last year. So that doesn't really matter. We go over here to the defense against this position. You can see it's 13, 28, and 16. So that's a decent look. We look at his minutes. He's playing a solid 30-plus minutes. What else? And then against this position, you can see the other. This one I take a little bit with a grain of salt. You can see all the other players that have played against Toronto. They don't really hit their lines, but that doesn't really mean it doesn't mean much to me. And to be honest, because what I care about more is these the rank against the position over here on the right. So let's just take it for what it is. And plus, we're buying it back. His original line should be right around. Let me take a look. So there's no insights. Usually there's an insights right here, and it would tell us that he's been hitting or not hitting or things like that. But there's nothing here for that. So I really like it here. Look at this. Even the last game, he's hit 40 PRAs, 43 PRAs, 35. So for us to buy it back to 30, it's a better chance he's going to hit this. So let me just kind of recap what I talked about, and then I'll be done after that. So let me see. So I'm looking at let me zoom in here. So just to recap real quick what I talked about, I like the Seahawks. Again, all these plays are thrown in the VIP. The exact plays I'm taking with the exact lines, they're inside the VIP. For the NBA, I actually haven't placed a bet yet because I have to look to make sure that Nets is going to be a good pick. Otherwise, I'm going to probably choose a different player prop or something like that to hit it with the under on Cleveland. So I do really like, let me go back. So Cleveland and Philadelphia on the NBA, I'm probably going to take that right around 245 or so. I have to take a look at the numbers. So I do like the under on that game, Cleveland and Philadelphia. I do like Brooklyn Nets. I'm not sure on that yet, just quite yet. I'm going to wait closer to game time, especially because it flip-flopped from underdog to favorite. I want to make sure that I'm looking at the correct information. And then I gave away this player here, Brandon Clark, as a one shot on goal, which is extremely expensive. Just putting it out there. And then you got Kwani Leonard for 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then I gave away another one. I can't remember his name. Let me see. Oh, it was not Sabonis. It was Sabonis I'm skipping. And then let's look at the last one here. Oh, Sharp. That's what it was. That's Kwani Leonard. Shit. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. So it was two different players. Let me see if I can zoom out of here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so it was this one here. Day'Ron Sharp, over 14.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He plays for Brooklyn. So that's already a little more solid because Brooklyn is supposed to win this. And then you got Kwani Leonard. Another thing to note is that you want to take a look at the spreads when you're looking at these overs, because the closer the game is, the better chance. So let me give you an example. The Brooklyn Nets and the Bulls, it's a projection scored of 114 and 114. Obviously, he's not going to hit that, but they're so close, and even the line movement and all that stuff flip flop, and it's very close to the plus 100 or whatever that is, right? So what this is, that means that the closer the game is, there's a higher chance that they can either get a overtime or they're going to keep their star players in, because if it's a blowout, then they sit out the starters because they don't want them to get injured. But the closer the game is, that's when you want it, that favors the over. I hope that makes sense. All right, guys. So that's all I had. Appreciate you guys that are here. Like I said, I haven't been on a live in a while, so I wanted to come on and kind of go through my thought process on the NFL, the NBA, and I appreciate you guys that have been here. If you have not done so, please make sure you subscribe. And there's also a new link in the description that says share. I just added that last night. Let me see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. No. So anyways, there's a link. If you go to the link in the description, bsportspicks.com, at the bottom it says share. I would appreciate if you guys can share this video or share my channel. I would really appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. Let's have a great day.